capacitor and capacitance. A capacitor is a device used as temporary storage of energy, electrical energy. It consists of two conducting plates separated by a dielectric medium or an insulator. The capacitor may be a parallel plate capacitor or a spherical capacitor, and capacity of a capacitor depends upon the shape, size and separation of the arrangement. A capacitor consists of two conducting plates one is charged as positive say plus Q and other is equally charged to minus Q by suitable earthing. It consists of two plates. One is charged as plus Q and other to minus Q by suitable earthing. At any instant, if Q is the charge of one plate that induces minus Q on the other by suitable earthing, then the surface charge density sigma is charged by surface area develops electric field in between the two plates. In between the two plates, a charge is increased. There is increase in field electric field. So also increase in potential difference between the two plates. H V is equal to ED. If D the separation between the plates. Thus, the charge is proportional to potential difference. Thus, Q is proportional to V, or Q is some constant C into V. This constant of proportionality C is known as capacitance of the capacitor. The constant of proportionality C, the constant of proportionality C is the capacitance of the capacitor. A capacitor cannot hold any amount of charge. More the charge given, the extra charge will leak to the surrounding. A capacitor can be raised to certain potential. If extra charge is given, it would leak to the surrounding. The capacity of a capacitor depends upon the capacity of a capacitor depends upon the shape, size, and separation of the arrangement. Also, it is observed that C is independent of Q and V. Even a single conductor can be even a single conductor can be assumed as a capacitor with positive charge, and other plate is the earth. It is minus or zero, we can say, minus or zero potential at a separation of infinity. If we think of a spherical conductor, suppose a spherical conductor is charged to Q, R the radius. If a spherical conductor of radius R charged to plus Q, R is other negative potential, then V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 R, or Q by V is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 R, that is C is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 R, or C is proportional to R. Thus, in a spherical conductor, the capacity is directly proportional to radius of the conductor. Units of capacitor, units of capacitance, units of capacitance C. In a SI system, the unit is 1 farad. If charge is 1 coulomb, raised to a potential difference of 1 volt, then it is defined as 1 farad. Similarly, in CGS, the unit is 1 start farad, where charge is 1 start coulomb and potential difference is 1 start volt. We can relate the two as 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb by 1 volt, that is 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb by 1 by 300 start volt. So here you can write it is 9 into 10 to the power 11 start farad. The smaller units of capacitance or the smaller units of capacitor the smaller units of C, smaller units of C are 1 microfarad, it 10 to the power 6 farad, 1 nanofarad, 10 to the power -9 farad, 1 picofarad, it 10 to the power -12 farad. As capacity or capacitance are very small quantities, that's why the smaller units are very preferred. Or also 1 millifarad you can say 10 to the -3 farad. Now we'll discuss about parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. It consists of two plates, conducting plates with common area A, common area A separated by a distance d. One is charged as positive and other is charged as negative by suitable earthing. It consists of two identical plates with common surface area A, separated by a distance d. One is charged with surface charge density sigma is equal to q by A. Other is charged to minus sigma, or that is minus q by A, by earthing. The electric field inside is away the positive plate towards the negative plate. The electric field inside is away positive plate towards negative plate. And electric field E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0 plus sigma by 2 epsilon 0 as observed in Gauss law, that is sigma by epsilon 0, or you can say q by epsilon 0 A. If V the potential difference between the two plates, then V is equal to minus EdL, or you can say minus E is equal to q by epsilon 0 A, and integration of dl is L from 0 to d. The limit is taken from d to 0 since potential increases opposite the field, increases opposite the electric field. Or V is equal to minus q by epsilon 0 A, here 0 minus d, that is q d by epsilon 0 A. Or C is equal to q by V, that is epsilon 0 A by D. That is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when the medium between the two is air. Thus in air medium C is proportional to A common area. That is more the common area between the two plates. More is the capacity or capacitance. Also, C proportional to 1 by D. Smaller the separation, more is C. Smaller the separation, more is the value of C. Now we'll discuss about effect of dielectric. Suppose there are two plates A and B. Suppose the two plates, the separation between the two plates is filled by a dielectric medium with dielectric constant K. Before, when it was in air, it was having surface charge density sigma. It was having surface charge density sigma here, and it is minus sigma. So when a dielectric medium is given, there is some polarization of the molecules which creates a surface charge density sigma p out of polarization of the molecules. Let E0 is equal to sigma by epsilon 0 and V0 is equal to E0 D in air medium. Hence, C0 is equal to epsilon 0 A by D. This is the case of electric field in between the two plates and potential difference developed. Also the capacity of the capacitor in air medium. When a dielectric is introduced that fills the gap between the two plates, then due to electric field E0, there is polarization of molecules. There is polarization of molecules creating a surface charge density sigma p on either side. So net charge density is reduced to sigma minus sigma p because due to polarization, electric field is opposite the direction of external field. Thus, resultant surface charge density is sigma minus sigma p. Hence, electric field E is equal to sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0 because electric field intensity in between the plates depends upon the surface charge density, and V is equal to ED, where D the separation, that is sigma minus sigma p by epsilon 0 into D. H sigma induces electric field E0 producing polarization of the plates, producing polarization and surface charge density sigma p due to E0, because any field, electric field E0 gives rise, it is due to this initial charge or surface charge density of the two plates, and this field produces polarization of the molecules. So there is a direct proportionality of sigma p with external field E0. So E0 or sigma p is proportional to, that means you can say that the resultant surface charge density is directly proportional to initial charge density, or sigma minus sigma p is equal to sigma by k, where k is equal to epsilon by epsilon 0, the dielectric constant of the material of the medium. Hence, V is equal to sigma by epsilon 0 k into D. Here you can put sigma minus sigma p is equal to sigma by k. and this sigma is q by epsilon 0 a k d, since sigma is q by a, or q by v is equal to epsilon 0 a k by d, or c is equal to epsilon 0 a k by d. Thus, C proportional to K, or capacitance is increased as a dielectric medium is introduced. Or C by C0 is equal to epsilon 0 A K by D divided by epsilon 0 A by D, that is K. Which is K is epsilon by epsilon 0. Suppose there is a pulp capacitor, there are two plates. If one of the plates is halved or folded to half, now common area is reduced to half. If one of the plates is folded to half, then common area is A by 2. Common area is A by 2. Hence, C dash is equal to epsilon 0 A by D, that is, you can say this is C by 2. Similarly, if one of the plates is doubled, suppose this is a parallel capacitor, if one is doubled, there is no change in common area. Similarly, if one of the plates is doubled in area, there is no change in common area. So, C remains unchanged. Now, we'll discuss about energy of a capacitor. Energy of a capacitor. Initially, a capacitor is having no charge, and let at any instant q dash is the positive charge here, minus q dash the negative charge. As the charge is raised, that means certain delta q amount of charge or dq, the amount of charge, is transferred from negative flat to positive flat, thereby its charge is increased. And when this dq charge is transferred from this to that, it is moved against a repulsive force between the existing charge and additional charge. A capacitor is charged gradually to certain charge q. At any instant, let q dash the charge and v dash the potential difference, and v dash is equal to q dash by c, the potential difference between the two flats. As an additional charge dq is transferred to the positively charged flat, it is moved against a repulsive force. Thus, work is done by external agency or the source. Because source is the supplier of energy. If dW, the amount of work done, then dW is equal to V dash dq, and V dash is equal to Q dash by C dq. Total work done in raising to charge q, total work done in raising to a charge q is W is equal to integration of dW, that is 1 by C q dash dq, limit 0 to q, or it is 1 by C q square by 2, 0 to q, that is half q square by C. Hence, potential energy or energy of the capacitor, this work done is stored in the form of energy, stored in the form of potential energy. Hence, a capacitor acts as temporary storage of energy. Hence, a capacitor acts as a temporary storage of energy or act as a source this energy can be written in other forms of potential like W is equal to half c square v square by c, or this is half cv square, since q is equal to cv. Also we can write W is equal to half q by v into v square, that is half qv. So these are the three forms of energy of a capacitor.